Hello everybody, it's Mike here at Game From Scratch with my first ever midnight recording, and I promised I was done with this story. The Improbable versus Unity story, it couldn't get any better. It was all done. We'd heard from Improbable side, we'd heard from Unity side, and that had to be it, right? Like at this point in time, we'd gotten both sides of the story. Now, they're probably both lying to a certain degree. There's shades of gray. The real story is somewhere in the middle, but we got most of it out there. At least that's what I thought. And then I was not expecting this one. I was about to go to bed. I checked my Twitter feed one last time, and then I saw this and started howling. I think this is hilarious, sort of. No, it's hilarious, actually. This is a $25 million troll by Epic Games. And it is 100%, they saw this, and within one day, they managed to come up with this whole partnership and announcement, and I think this is absolutely hilarious. So if you've been following along all day, I apologize, we're retreading, but trust me, it's worth the punchline. For everyone else, here's the top-level TLDR version of it as fast as possible. Of course, I will link these articles so you can read more about this as it happened, but basically, oops, that's the wrong version. Improbable came out and said their product Spatial OS was being discontinued on Unity because basically Unity was shutting them down due to changes in the terms of service. They were saying all the developers that used their online cloud-based networking were officially screwed, and it was basically Unity's fault. We flip over, Unity comes back and says, no, Improbable is in violation of the terms and services, and we just tweak these. Oh, but by the way, if you want to create cloud-based offerings to work with our product from now on, negotiate a custom license with us, and if you don't like it, suck it. Basically, that's the summary version of it. I'm probably being a little biased against Unity on the whole, but that is kind of in a nutshell. Unity decided that they are going to get into this space, and they said over the last year or so, they've been kind of telling Improbable, negotiate a license with us, and they didn't. And it didn't work out, and it all came to a very public head today. Enter Epic Games, and this is epic trolling. So basically, they do a bit of a recap about what just happened. So they don't specifically, I don't even think they mention Unity in here. But what they do say is, Epic Games and Improbable would like to jointly reaffirm our commitment to game developers that the best combination of engine and other technology backed by interoperable standards that work for everyone while respecting developers' ability to choose partners and software components freely. First, we want to reassure our partnership, and then they kind of go on to brag about how great Unreal Engine is, how its EULA is perpetual, so you can't get screwed by last-minute EULA changes, that it is open source, and that you can work with whomever you'd like. They also go on to say, likewise, Improbable is developing a completely open Unreal integration for its online game development platform, Spatial OS. The combination enables developers to rapidly build and deploy both session-based and persistent online worlds across all platforms with the functionality of Unreal Engine and the increased possibilities of distributed computing and cloud services. So they're kind of saying, hey, we don't do this, and we love the fact that we're working with Spatial. So, Epic Games' partnership with Improbable and the integration of Improbable's cloud-based development platform, Spatial OS, is based on shared values. Now, this is a bit of a stab. Based on shared values and a shared belief in how companies should work together to support mutual customers in a straightforward, no-surprises way. Yeah, that's a shot. We believe we are at the beginning of an unprecedented age of inclusive online games that will become part of our everyday lives. Enabling this takes much more than Epic or Improbable. It will take a vastly more mature, broad-based industry to enable this future, a community of companies connected by values such as fair and openly disclosed business terms, respect for developer choice, and a full interop between platform software and services. Yeah, that was a shot too, by the way. We encourage others with a similar vision to reach out so we can find ways to make it come sooner. And then here is the punchline. To assist developers who are left in limbo by the new engine and services incompatibilities that were introduced today, again, no mention of Unity in that statement, Epic Games and Improbable are together establishing a US $25 million combined fund to help developers transition to more open engine services and ecosystems. This funding will come from a variety of sources, including Unreal Dev Grants, Improbable Developer Assistance Fund, and Epic's Game Store funding. So basically, those two companies I imagine it basically boils down to $24.5 million from Epic and their Fortnite money, and then whatever left from Improbable. But they're going to develop this fund so that those people that are currently, let's say, inconvenienced on the Unity platform can port to a different platform. Now, it's actually kind of interesting that Unreal aren't implicitly saying over to Unreal. And they were actually mentioning Godot in a tweet earlier today. Tim Sweeney did directly say that that's the difference between us and them, us being Unreal and Godot, which is a little strange. But so this development grant could actually not be exclusive to the Unreal Engine. Yeah, that is it. Signed by both the CEO Tim Sweeney of Epic Games and the CEO of Improbable Games. So they've set up a $25 million fund to port people away from Unity if they're affected by this change. And in the meantime, there were a lot of subtle insults in this comment. So I gotta stop laughing because you don't often hear this kind of thing in the world. This really is a 25 million. Well, it's an opportunity for them. They're going to directly steal developers that are currently irked by what Unity just did. But this is a $25 million troll, and I think it is absolutely hilarious. So I promise that is it for the day because the day is done. And you know what? If this story keeps getting weirder and weirder and weirder, I just have to cover it because this story is amazing. This day has been so odd, and I don't even know what to expect tomorrow. Let me know if you want to. Are you finding this as interesting or enthralling as I have? Or do you just not care? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, what do you think of Epic Games' move here? I gotta respect them for moving quickly. For somehow getting $25 million of approval for something like this in the same day that it happened, you gotta give Tim credit. He's very responsive and he knows how to just stab an enemy while they're down. And they did it without once mentioning Unity. And oh no, they did right here. Oh, first line. Sorry. They did actually mention, but they said it there about this situation. But when they were talking about all these other things like maturity and open platforms and collaboration and good business practices and all that, yeah, there was no names mentioned, but it's pretty obvious. So what do you think of this? Is this a smart move by Epic? Is it petty? Is it hilarious? Or is it all of the above? Are you sick of the story, or are you just as enthralled as I am? Let me know in the comments down below, and for God's sakes, get some sleep. All right, I'll talk to you all later. Goodbye.